Dr. Virgil Troy, and this is week 5, day 32 of the Barley Man Gladiator Diet. And I thought that considering the last couple of videos I've made, I've been focusing on the results that I've achieved. I thought I'd put together a simple 6-step process for anyone who's interested in making a start in getting into this type of eating. Now, when I originally started this quite a few years ago, I started with this 6-step process to be able to ease my way into it, because going from what I was eating previously into how I'm eating now is quite a big step, and it is quite a lot to actually get used to and quite a lot of new habits to get in place. So what I put together was a simple 6-step process, which I'm going to outline now, and maybe it'll be helpful to you. First step, add water. So you might decide that you want to do each of these steps over the space of a week. Sometimes you might want to do it a little bit longer, but this is probably one of the most important steps. One is add water. Many people go throughout their lives in a constant state of dehydration. And when you're dehydrated, your overall performance goes down. So your physical performance, your cognitive performance, your ability to be able to think on your feet, your ability to be able to function in general. So try not to be dehydrated and try and get some extra water in. I made a video about this a few weeks ago, and typically I start my day with a glass of water, and then I just drink progressively throughout the day. Some days I'll drink a lot if it's a very hot day and I'm doing a lot of intense physical exercise, but just on a normal day where it's just basically in at work and then off home, I'll definitely drink a little bit less. So definitely get the water in. That's what you want to do in step 1. Step 2 is drop the added salt. So it might be in week 2 you decide to do this. So step 2, drop the added salt. It takes about 3 to 4 days for your taste buds to come back to normal. And what I mean by that is that if you are used to the typical Western high salt diet where everything is either manufactured with salt, has salt added to it, or you sprinkle salt on your meal, then what happens is that it dulls your taste buds, and it takes 2, 3, maybe 4 days for your taste buds to actually come back to their original state. So over that period of time, you'll find that switching to eating more vegetables, more fruit, it won't taste as good as the processed food, but that's simply because your taste buds are trying to return to normal. So cut the added salt, don't cook with it, don't splash it on, and just take those few days to allow your taste buds to come back to normal. Third step, drop added sugar. So what I mean by that is if you drink tea or coffee and you normally have sugar in it, drop the added sugar. There are sugar replacements, and that's the thing with this. There's lots of things you can do as interim steps while you take some of those processed things out. But if you're going to drop the sugar, there are sweeteners, there are healthy plant-based sweeteners that you can use. But eventually, you do not want to be adding additional sugar to your diet. So just get your sugars from your fruit, from your vegetables, from your starches. That's where you want to get it from. So that's step 3. And what I would do is, and this is what I did, is I started eating dried fruit. It's a habit I had to slowly work my way out of, but it's better to eat dried fruit and drink obviously lots of water than to actually have a highly processed refined sugar. At least then it'll work its way through your digestive system. You're getting the fiber that's part of the fruit itself, which helps your body metabolize it and stops those aggressive spikes in insulin. So that's something you want to look at doing, is cutting the added sugar. So the next step is quite a big one, and it can take some time to get used to, but that is cut animal meat. So cut meat. And you might start off with, say, choosing your favorite one and eliminating the rest, or you might go cold turkey and just say, that's it, I'm going to just drop all meat. And what I would recommend is that, you look in the supermarket or where you shop and you find some kind of meat alternative. And there's plenty available on the market now. So definitely go down that path. Yes, the meat alternative is a processed product, but it's still going to be an awful lot better in terms of reducing down the saturated animal fat that you're putting into your blood, and it's going through your veins and arteries. And it causes lots and lots of associated Western diet health problems. So cut out the animal protein. The next step, which is a bit challenging, number 5, and that is cut the dairy. So what I mean by that is milk, I'm talking about milk-related products, I'm talking about cheese, I'm talking about yogurt, and again, you might go through an elimination process. You might say, okay, well, I'm going to stop having milk, but I'm still going to have cheese for a wee while. Then you might say, right, I'll eliminate the yogurt and carry on with the cheese. And so I'll have a bit less cheese, or I'll go and find a cheese alternative. And again, there are plenty of these available in the supermarket. Try them out. Again, it will take some time for your taste buds to acclimatize to a completely different taste than what is quite often a completely different texture. But look around and replace it. And again, getting rid of that saturated fat that is absolutely loaded with it's typical of animal products such as dairy. Just get it out of your system. It's not doing you any good. And then the final step, which is step 6, and that is cut processed foods. And that's getting down to whole grain, whole food, plant-based energy into your system. And that, again, is a big challenge because many of those processed options you've undertaken to replace things like meat and dairy, etc. You're going to begin taking those out of your eating plan as well. And then eventually you'll get to a point where you're eating a whole food plant-based diet. You're getting all of your protein from where protein comes from, which is plants. You're getting all of the minerals, you're getting all the vitamins in your diet, and your body, which is a natural healing mechanism, will just allow you to feel better and to get better as it heals itself over time. And with that, of course, is the associated benefits of weight loss. So that's my 6-step process. In there as well, when I'm talking about get rid of processed foods, I'm also talking about get rid of added oil. You don't need to add oil to what you eat. All it is a dense fat. That's it. And the fat you eat is the fat you wear. So 6-step process once again. Add the water at step 1. Step 2, cut out the salt. Step 3, stop the added sugar. Step 4, cut the meat. Step 5, cut the dairy. And step 6, get rid of the processed food, which also includes oil. So that's it. Nice and simple, or maybe not. But give it a go. If you just start with week 1 and say, right, I'm just going to add water to my diet and I'm just going to drink more of that, your body will get used to it, your bladder will get used to it, and then you'll slowly start to feel better. And then the following week, okay, I'm not going to add salt now, I'm going to add a bit more vegetable and fruit into my diet, and you'll begin to taste those flavors which have eluded you up until now because probably you're not eating much of it, or when you do eat it, it doesn't taste as good as a hamburger or something else that's absolutely laden with fat and salt. So that's my thought for the day. Hope it goes well for you, and I'll report it again tomorrow.